Darrelle Revis retired as a Jet today. No surprise. I mean, he was drafted by the Jets. He's known as a Jet. And to be honest with you, he's arguably one of the best players in the history of the organization. He's, no doubt, in my opinion, a Hall of Famer, Jets Ring of Honor, all that. And, I don't listen. When he was a member of the Jets, Joe, we talked about the contracts and the trades and all that stuff. And at this point, I don't care about that. What I care about is Darrelle Revis. When I was a fan, I was proud he was a Jet because he was the most dominant player on the field. And you're like, he is my guy. He is our player. We didn't care what receiver you put on him. He was going to shut you down week in and week out, year in and year out. And he helped Rex Ryan's defense go. And it's like it's in our lifetime or my lifetime, there's not many players, remember the Jets, we'd be like, dude, this guy is elite. He is the best of the best. As fans, we like to believe that. Revis was that. I mean, that's not green-colored glasses. That's it. Like, he was Revis Island. He was the best player on the field for a long period of time. And, you read some of these stories now. It's like, listen, for me, it's like, congratulations on an excellent career. I'm glad he played with the Jets. I don't care about the contract stuff. I just know that when he played those years on the Rex Ryan and those elite years, he was so much fun to watch, and we were so proud to have him that, to me, it's like nothing but the best to him. I hope he has a great, life post-retirement.
Yeah, I absolutely do as well. I mean, the contract stuff aside, when we're talking about watching Revis on the field, I don't know if I've seen a more dominant corner in a Jets uniform during my fandom. I've never seen someone electrify a stadium the way that he could. I remember I went to a game, and he literally had his own entrance. So it was right after the second contract issue with Rex, and they brought him back, and he had came back, I think, like right before camp had ended or something like that. And he came out, and the entire stadium was on their feet screaming Revis. I mean, the flame shot up, and he came out, and the fans just absolutely lost it. I mean, that guy was amazing when he was out there. In a modern-day football where the rules are literally slanted for offense to win, this guy was going out there and shutting down the best receivers game in and game out. It didn't matter who you put him on. Your identified number one, if he was sticking him, that guy didn't even exist. There were offensive coordinators that didn't even want to throw to his side of the field. That's how great he was. So, man, I wish him the absolute best. It sucked to see him go, other places and have some success there. But he was our corner. He was our guy, and I'm glad that, when he hung it up in green.
And I think, that, to be honest, one of the most impressive things about Revis, I've been fortunate enough to cover training camp for, 5, 6, 10 years now, however long it's been. And, dude, you watch the guy in practice. And I think the most impressive thing was in practice. He was tenacious, dude. Like, he didn't, in a walkthrough, he had, a ball getting thrown on him. Like, with the battles against Brandon Marshall were crazy. But, dude, it didn't matter who the receiver was. It could have been Clyde Gates. It could have been anybody. He didn't want a pass to get broken up. And the crazy thing is, he'd come out. Dude, it'd be August 15th, 105 degrees. Revis comes out, long sleeves, long pants, and you're like, dude, he's got to be dying. Like, he's got to be sweating his brains out. Dude, intense. He's like, he wanted to be in peak shape, and he wanted to challenge his mind and body every practice. Where it's like, listen, I'm dead tired, and you're still not catching a pass. And the thing is, you watch the young players just swarm to him, and like, dude, they would all, they wouldn't want to stand right next to him, but they would be within a yard of him, watching his every move, watching his technique. And then when all the media would leave, and I used to always stay at the practice and watch. When all the media would leave, there would be Revis working foot drills with young guys and showing just how to turn your hips, how to do these things. And nobody ever saw that. But Revis always took time to help the younger guys. But it was when the media wasn't there because he didn't want the attention. He just wanted to do his business and go home. And, Joe, it was so ridiculously cool to watch because this is one of the best players in the history of football. And he's sitting here talking to a rookie corner that's clueless. His head's swimming, and you can see him like, all right, turn your hips here, do it again, do it again, do it again. And that was the kind of teammate he was in practice, and it was so impressive to watch.
Yeah, and that mentorship did help a lot of corners, as you spoke about. A lot of guys really grew and bettered their game off of stuff that he did. But even the stuff that you talked about with him being in practice with the long sleeves, and even though he was dead tired, he would push, and he still got that fight, still got that dog in him. That stuff would translate over to game day, because that's how he played as well. It didn't matter if it was the first quarter or the fourth quarter. You were not getting the ball near him, by him, or around him at all. He was going to knock everything down. Nothing was going to go down on his side. And he played with that tenaciousness. He played with that fury. He played with that fight in him, man. It was just absolutely amazing to watch him go out there, when we had to get on that field and just watch him shut guys down. I mean, Rex talked about many times, his defense was so much better with Revis out there because he could just stick a guy out there on the island. That side is done. Now we're sending blitzes. We're doing all types of different things. And I know that you're not going to send the ball over to Revis' side, because if you do, it's going to be our ball.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And then the other side of it is you have the receivers in practice that had to work that much harder to get open. So not only did it make, it helped the defense, but it helped your offense too, because then your receivers had to work harder to get open, to find ways. And your quarterback had to do things too. We're like, all right, listen, Brandon Marshall ain't catching a pass. Got to go to Eric Decker. We got to go to tight end. We got to do whatever else. But he had such an impact on the practice field and for young players. And, like you said, it changed Rex Ryan's defense, because you knew, dude, let's be honest. Peyton Manning was scared to throw to Reggie Wayne. In that playoff game, listen, I'm not even going to bother with Reggie Wayne. You know what? I'm not going to take that chance. Right? Let's be honest. It is what it is. That's not even being cocky. That's factual. He was so good where it's and you remember, I would always remember, the pregame, Andre Johnson, he's got the size, he's the speed. Terrible matchup for Darrelle Revis. 2 catches and 10 yards later, done. Take care, see you later. Week in and week out, and when you look back at his career, I don't look back at the contracts. I don't care that he was a Patriot, won a Super Bowl. I don't care about the Buccaneers. I just look back at those prime years with the Jets, how damn good he was, and he was a member of the Jets. And like I said, you can argue all day long who's the best player in the history of the organization. People are going to say Namath and Klecko and all this stuff. All I know is he's up there. He's top 2, top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, there's no dispute there.